Okay, there is a Haarp earthquake attack aimed at Washington, D.C. right this very minute, and we can see from the cloud patterns, this is the extreme low frequency pattern that shows up in the clouds, and this is telling us that the energy is coming from the Greenland Haarp, the billion-watt transmitter in Greenland. And this wave pattern right here is telling us that this energy is coming from the billion-watt transmitter in Gakona, Alaska. And we see a ring pattern here centered on Washington, D.C. So that's telling us that this Haarp energy is focused right on Washington, D.C. That is a Haarp outflow boundary, what I call the smoke ring. It's a roll cloud of dry air. And the amazing thing is that today, April 23rd, the moon phase is exactly the same as the moon phase of the big Washington, D.C. earthquake in 2011. August 23rd, 2011, 6.0 earthquake rocks Washington, D.C. And this was from USA Today, and it says, video, vacant White House shakes. The earthquake happened at 1:15 Eastern, and Obama had left 5 days earlier for Martha's Vineyard. And coincidentally, Obama has just left for Tokyo to spend 8 days in Asia. So that's a coincidence that Obama was not in Washington for the 2011 earthquake, and he is now not in Washington for a potential earthquake today. Let me just show you the moon phase from August 2011. And on the 23rd, it was waning crescent, 33%, as is today's current moon. Today's current moon is waning crescent, 33%. And today's moon chart, oops, there we go again, April 2014. Today's moon chart is waning crescent, 33%. So the fact that the moon has exactly the same phase is basically a 1 in 30 chance. And the fact that Obama is not at the White House is maybe a 1 in 3 chance. So right off the bat, we have a 1 in 100 coincidence regarding a possible earthquake attack on Washington, D.C. But the fact that I watch the Haarp transmitters every day, and I have never seen 2 Haarp transmitters focused on Washington, D.C. before, that's also an astronomical coincidence. So I would not be a bit surprised to see a major earthquake in Washington, D.C. today or in the next 24 hours, sometime before they turn off both these Haarp transmitters. And from my experience, prior to the Fukushima earthquake attack in 2011, someone was sending 2.4 hertz extreme low frequency to the Japan area, which was recorded, and it lasted for about 2 days. And then when the Fukushima earthquake happened, they turned it off, and they have not turned it back on. So the Fukushima was not a natural disaster. Of course, there were other man-made aspects to it, but the Haarp was involved in creating that massive earthquake incident. And you can see here these concentric rings. This has been going on. I have to point out, these herringbone cloud patterns have been going on since before daybreak. A meteorologist will tell you, oh, well, those are just caused by the sun heating of a low cloud layer. Well, that's not true, because these have been going on since before the sunrise. You have to look at my other videos to see that. So it's pretty likely, in my opinion, we're going to see a major earthquake in Washington, D.C. in the next 24 hours. And if we do, this is an act of pure terrorism. And the military intelligence agencies and the FBI have to investigate who is running HAARP. The Gakona Haarp, the Baja California Haarp, and the Greenland Haarp. These are being used for terrorist goals, for creating drought, and worst of all, melting the Arctic methane. If they're successful in releasing the Arctic methane, the whole planet will be dead in 30 years. Okay, let's hope and pray that this is not going to result in a major earthquake. But this is an act of terrorism, whether they get an earthquake to pop or not, because HAARP is still a new weapon system. It's more of an art form than a true weapon. So this is still trial and error for them, but I would not be a bit surprised if we see a major earthquake resulting from this attack. Thank you.